Spirit has chosen the Four Corners spread for your general monthly reading, which lays a nice, diverse groundwork where we will be looking into the four main areas of interest that people commonly ask about in tarot: the work corner, the financial money corner, the health corner, and the ever-popular love corner. We are going to take a stroll through all four to see what Spirit wants to discuss about your month. And that is what we're going to do today. Welcome in, Gemini. It is time for your Four Corner spread for February 2024. Let's dive right into it, guys. We're going to start with your health corner. Health corner, simple theme for you. We got a lot of cards on this side of the table, which is going to be work and finance. We'll save those for last, guys. Lots of things to talk about there. Let's start here on the easy side. We got health. Health coming in, rest, relaxation, getting enough rest is going to be huge for Geminis who run themselves ragged, okay? If you're busy, working 60 hours a week and stuff like that, make sure you find the time to rest. Rest your body, rest your mind. In fact, memory is linked to sleep. Having long hours of sleep versus short intermittent sleep, it affects your memory, okay, guys? So make sure you're getting enough rest, relaxation. And maybe just make sure you don't push it if you're doing something very rigorous in the month of February too. Let's say you're helping a friend move. Okay, you're going to be doing a lot of lifting. Make sure you're being as preventative as you can about stuff. You're lifting with your legs and not your back, and you're wearing a back brace, and you're being smart about it, not lifting things that are too heavy for you. So that's just one example of just playing it cool. Nice rest, relaxation. Don't push your body too hard. Next thing they show here is that a lot of Geminis have a lot of choices with health. A lot of different ways and paths you can go with things here. And of course, when we have this many paths, it's represented by 7 and my 7 of Cups. It represents 7 paths, but not all of them are good, guys. And we all know our own bodies best. But sometimes if it's something we've never done before, it is an experiment. It's like, I've never tried this diet before, or I've never tried this supplement before. I've never tried this exercise cardio program before. So whatever it is, it's either going to work or it's not. The stuff that doesn't, you just really need to self-eliminate it very quickly, get it out of the way, and move on to something that does. And even if this is going back to your past, where you're doing something that works well for you. February is basically, they're showing you doing that. You guys are figuring out health things with, not all of these are good choices though, but you do have a lot of different ways you can take it. I view that as a good thing. Next, we move up to love corner. Short one as well here, Gemini. The first thing they talk about, and by the way, we have a very wonky love setup for my chemistry tracking. That's something I do to look at how the signs are vibing with each other. And we have a really weird one. If you want to see that posted, it's on the Facebook page. It is also on my website, scottsagent.com. You can check that out there and see all the wonkiness with love this month. So it's just weird. But as far as you guys are concerned, they show you guys moving forward. That's a good start. It's good to be moving forward and not looking back, okay? They got you doing that with the lessons you've learned. So a lot of you have learned hard lessons in the love corner. Love corner is a big place too. It is not just your love relationships. What if you're single? It's the same energy here, regardless of what you got going on, and it's also in relation to your family and friends. Anybody close to your heart can come in here. So they show a lot of lessons being learned, moving forward in a good trajectory, good path, toward a goal that is not here yet. So you guys are working towards something here. Whether it is finding a person, whether it's, you and your person, buying a house together, just depends on, what phase of things you're at. But it's good. It's good to see. It's work in progress, and it's goals being put forward. And, the only thing I can maybe tell you here is to don't set your goals too large. I mean, maybe if it's a long enough term, you can say, in 5 years, we have this really big goal. But, the smaller goals you can set that are more short term, something that you can fulfill very quickly instead of, worrying about buying a house in 5 years, worried about, saving up $1,000 in a few months. See if you can do that first and then set the next small goal, right? So you're kind of working these little steps, and then you build up momentum when you do that. So it just kind of creates a snowball effect, and you get to where you're going, and you're also, you're holding your head up high because you feel good about it. It's not like, the big goal, like, oh, it's so far away. We're only a few months in now. I can't believe it's going to be 4 more years. It's just better perspective-wise, keeping your head in the game if you're shorter term. Let's get into your big stuff, guys. Huge factors. And I'm going to actually go finance first, because finance It's good, but it is not as good as work. The first thing they talk about for finance here is a lot of my Geminis are really tied down financially this month. Maybe that means living a little tight. Maybe it means, your money is kind of not liquid right now. Maybe it's tied into something. Maybe you're waiting for something to come, before this really opens up. But that's where we start with. Now, the next thing they show happening in February is that there is a breaking of these bonds. That whatever the bondage, it's represented by the devil card, which basically means handcuffed to something you don't want to be handcuffed to. Makes me feel like a bill, some kind of bad credit type of deal, or some high interest, something or other, or just something financially. Maybe it's just a bill you just want to eliminate. Maybe you're downsizing or something like that. So anyway, they show you breaking free from these restraints, from these handcuffs. It's excellent to see. It's more financial freedom from this. So anything that you have to free yourself from, pay attention to the moon cycles with the full moon there. That's getting rid of stuff. And this ends very good. If you do that, they really want you to purge something out of there financially for you, because it ends with my 9 of Cups, which is a successful card, a little trophy case, putting a trophy on the shelf, a little accomplishment. And even if it's just a small accomplishment, guess what? Just like we talked about those goals, they rack up, they stack up, and next thing you know, boom, it's a big one. It's a big one that's accomplished. Let's get into that work corner, and let me tell you, I don't know if I could really draw up a better work corner. The work possibilities, and a few signs have had this general positivity for the work corner. There's a lot of good things that can be done in the work corner for a lot of signs in February. It is an ideal time to make some moves, make some decisions. They talk about you guys here making a major decision in the work corner. Work corner being a big place too, guys. It's not just your job. It's work, business, enterprise, area of study, collegiate courses, retirement if you're of that age, entrepreneurship, the JOB for most people, but also learning new things and hobbies and interests. All that falls into here. And they show you making a major decision with that. A lot of you doing that in February. Some of you already have. If you have, you're just that far ahead of the game. You've already made your big decision, and it is a bright one. So bright, in fact, that they gave you the Sun card, the best card in the tarot deck out of all 78. So this is just golden Gemini. I'm just going to give you the golden Geminis, like here, there, everywhere. It's wonderful. Work corner, I just want you to think gold. Decision being made, major decisions, whether it's leaving a job, looking for a new job, whatever step of your work progression, that work corner that you're doing. Do more of it in February. It is so good, guys. The next thing they show here is my Empress card, which is physical, very fertile ground, brand new opportunities. And this is real to the touch new, where something you can touch. It's not an idea. It is not an emotion. It's not a feeling. This is something real. And that is what Spirit's trying to tell you here, is like this becomes very real, or it can. For a lot of my Geminis, and of course, everybody's different. It's not going to hit you all exactly the same. Some of you are at different phases of, not just February, but your cycles, your numerology cycles are in groups of 9 years, 9 months. So everything does get kind of convoluted. And this is a general reading anyway. So we have so many Geminis tuning in. We're reading the bubble energy of all Geminis. If you're looking for personal private messages that are specific only to you, I offer a wide variety of those services on my website, scottsagent.com. And those are all personalized just to you. The last thing we talk about here is your Oracle Angel card. They gave you moon cycles. Moon cycles. In the card specifically, it says, notice how the moon affects your energy and manifestations, and capitalize upon these cycles. Okay, guys, we're going to talk about those moon cycles momentarily. That's the next phase of your reading. I want you to pay attention to, if you're trying to purge something financially, pay attention to the full moon dates. If you're trying to bring something new in, like work, talked about a lot of new stuff, we're having a super new moon in February. This is where it's very large in the sky, and the energy is very large too. So you can do a lot of new stuff, not just in this work potential, but really manifesting and making it happen, making it real, what Spirit talked about, which leads us to your runestone, which is Harvest. Harvest runestone is talking about the payback, getting back what you put in. It's the harvest. You worked on the crops, all season long, and now it's time to yield the crops, time to take it back, get your rewards. That's what they talk about in your work corner. That's what they talk about, you getting to these rewards in the financial corner, breaking free from whatever is in your way there. getting that reward goal set up for your love corner so you can see harvest kind of everywhere around. Harvest in the health corner is more open-minded, but you can figure that stuff out too. So harvest, you can see it. It's a great runestone to wrap up with. And now we're going to get into your moon cycles, and we're going to wrap up after that with homily, which is a little spiritual pep talk done by me. And this month I will be wearing a full raincoat. Okay guys, it is moon cycles forecast time. Let's talk about these lunar energies that are all around us anyways, so we can use it to our benefit, implement some positive change into your month. Well, the first thing you need to understand is whether these energies are coming in or going out. Just like the tides, the moon has control of that. In the same way, you can use it too. The first thing that hits chronologically this month is the new moon. You're going to see all the text information on your screen, any rare occurrences, as well as the date. Now, this is a target date for the new moon. It doesn't have to be done on this date, guys. I really like to bracket a few days before and a few days after to get a very powerful week where you can bring new things into your life and really manifest. If it is NEW, it's not there before, brand new, this is the best time to bring it into your life. Something new financially, maybe something new with work, new love, new health. It doesn't matter what it is. If it's new, this is the best time of the month to work on these things, really help bring it in. Adversely, the full moon, the opposite energy, the energy going out, hits on this date on your screen. And of course, the same rules apply. It doesn't have to be done on this date. We're talking about a week window, a few days on each side of it here. When this energy is very strong going out, and the energy going out is the best time to get things out of your life that don't belong there or that you don't want there. Something that's got control of you or hold of you that you don't want. Maybe something like a bad habit, maybe emotional baggage, a bill that's got to go. That would be something financially, maybe something with health, maybe an eating habit that's got to go. It doesn't matter if it's got to go. The full moon is your best bet to get this change to stick. If any of this has confused you, I've put together a moon cycle cheat sheet. I do it every single month. It is free. It is on the website, guys. You can check it out very easily. It is a little graphic illustration, a tool that you can use so you can kind of see these changes moving in and moving out, so you can align things in your month to it to really get them to stick, implement some great positive changes. Now let's get into your homily. Hello friends, and welcome into your homily, February 2024 edition. My name is Scott Sagent, and the name of this homily this month is Don't Let It Rain on Your Parade. We're going to be talking about managing expectations here. Good expectations that we might be too high on, expecting too much from, bad things, expecting bad days, and how we can get way too low on that. Finding a nice middle ground here. The first and very most important thing to start with is that us, as human beings, we are just prediction machines. Our mind is computing and processing a whole bunch of stimuli every single second of every single day, trying to figure out what's going to happen next so that you can be in the right present moment, making the best decisions for you at that time. So just like if you come up to a stop sign and there's another car, you're trying to figure out, both you guys are really, who's going to go first, who's going to do what you're trying to figure out what they're going to do so you don't crash into them, right? Same thing if a stranger walks up to you, you're trying to figure out, analyze the heck out of it as quick as you're not even realizing it's happening at this point. It happens automatically, but you're trying to figure out, is this stranger coming up to me? Can they be trusted? Are they a good person? Or are they going to rob me? Okay, so we're doing all these kind of things all the time, all these computations behind the scene. And as a result of all that, we come up with expectations, our version of the future, whether it be a good event or a negative event, doesn't matter. We're creating these expectations all the time about what we expect to happen. But here's the thing, a lot of times these expectations do not happen. Never happens at all. Or maybe they're not as good as we want them to be, or as bad as we would like to avoid. So let's get into a little bit of that. Now, I like to look at this with a frame that I call the 5% rule. So let's take a good example first. Hey, you're going to Disneyland, you're going to a theme park, doesn't matter which one, pretend, okay, you're going to have the best day ever. Your expectations are way up here. You're like, yeah, I'm going to meet these characters. I'm going to get to go on all these rides. I'm going to, live out my childhood dreams and just have a great day all the way up here. That's what you're expecting, okay? And that's fine. Maybe it'll happen. But there's only that 5% rule, the 5% chance that you're going to get to the tippy top of what is actually going to occur. Stuff happens, stuff goes wrong. And if you're up there, that 5%, well, the reality is that you're going to be somewhere in that other 95% range, which is way down here. Okay, so even if it's a good day and it's up here, it's like, well, I didn't get to go on all the rides I wanted to go on. I got to go on half of them, but there's on the other half, and the lines were too long. Or, maybe down here, it rained all day. They had to shut down some rides. It didn't work out at all for me. That was not what I was expecting at all. So anywhere off of your top tier of what you were expecting before is going to be a letdown. You're going to feel that very deeply in you, like, something is just not really good. Not a good feeling, not a good emotion to have. Now let's look at a negative one. Same rule of fives apply. Hey, you got to go to a dentist appointment. And this is going to be one where you're expecting a procedure to happen that is going to be a little painful, a little bit of uncomfortness going on, and you're just not looking forward to it. Okay, so your expectation is like down, down, down here. I'm not sure if I'm off the camera, but I'm pretty low down here. So anyway, the same 5% rule applies, guys. Same 5% rule. It's usually not as bad as you expect it to be, the bad things, okay? You're going to be in that 95% range somewhere else. So, hey, you get this procedure done, and okay, that wasn't as bad as I thought. That didn't hurt as much as I thought it would. Maybe it was an uncomfortable hour and a half. But you know what? Now, that was up here. That wasn't that bad. Now I can feel like that weight is lifted off my shoulder. I got that out of the way, done and checked off my list. So it's the rule of the 5%. Now, what do we do with this information, right? Now, a lot of people say, oh, you just got to eliminate the expectations. Just get rid of them altogether. You don't need them, right? We don't need to have expectations about what's going to happen, whether it be good or bad. Well, that's a utopia. That is just not realistic, since we are human prediction machines. We are always trying to figure stuff out, and without expectations, that would leave us with nothing to ever look forward to. And of course, it's okay to look forward to something. You just got to manage this. So let's talk about how we manage these. Giving those two examples that I gave you earlier, let's go through both of them. The Disney World, having a great time, expectations up to here. Hey, you know what? Let's bring the expectation into middle keel. You know why? Because I expect that I'm going to have fun no matter what happens. Because at the end of the day, it is not what happens to you. It's what you do with what happens to you. It's the decisions you make. So if you go into the day thinking, hey, you know what? I'm going to have the best time possible with whatever situations and circumstances come up. I'm going to make sure that this is a good day. Okay, so you're up here and you're nice and good. That's managing your expectations for the good. Now let's talk about managing the low side. That dentist appointment, that painful procedure, that cavity filling, that root canal, whatever it is. Okay, well, what do we do about this? You tell yourself, hey, you know what? It might not be that bad. I'm going to get this done. I'm going to check it off my list, and I'm going to put it behind me. You're going to attack the day in a much more middle keel. And the likelihood is you're going to hit that 95% either way. So it's all going to work out kind of more in the middle regardless. Nothing is ever as bad as we expect it to be. And usually nothing is ever as good as we expect it to be either. And that's okay, because we're managing expectations. Of course, this doesn't always come naturally to everybody. Sometimes it does take a little bit of practice and implementation to lower these expectations, or at least manage the kind of middle ground, that 95% range of both sides of things. But the rain will come. It always does. The challenges in life will come. Nothing ever works out like we intend it to, whether it be too good or too bad. And the good news is that puts the power back into your corner, because again, it is not what happens to you. It is what you do with what happens to you. You remember that, you'll be in great shape, guys. So that is going to conclude your homily for February 2024. Do not let it rain on your parade, guys. I'm telling you. That's it for me. I hope you've enjoyed the reading. Please remember to like and subscribe so you see the future readings. Have an excellent February. I know you will.
So I guess the fortune teller's right.